Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your June 2025 astrological forecast. I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently this month just to try it, okay? You will always be able to find any of my videos in their entirety, okay, on my channel. But for some reason, people seem to like the shorts a lot more, and they're not clicking on the short that takes them to the monthly video. So I'm going to put the monthly video in like part one, two, three, four, whatever, in shorts. Okay, I'll eventually get around to doing that, but for now, I just wanted you guys to know that if you see it in the shorts and it says part one, part two, it's the same video. It's just broken down into sections. Okay, so Virgo, I'd have to say, like, the big thing for you is there are no planets in Pisces right now. Neptune and Saturn have moved into Aries, and Pisces is your opposite sign. So you've had Neptune, at least for how many years, directly across from whatever planets you have in Virgo. And Saturn was just recently in Pisces, so you had to deal with that too. They're just for the summer, they've moved into Aries. They will fully move into Aries next year. Okay. But just for this summer, you're getting a little bit of a break. I don't know if some of you may notice, maybe not, that, you feel a little bit lighter, maybe, whatever. There's no planets opposing you right now, because that's what it means when planets are in Pisces. They're directly across, creating a 180-degree angle to whatever planets you have in Virgo, and it's called an opposition. So sometimes it just like depletes your energy, makes you feel tired, makes you feel, I don't know, not like really doing anything. But anyways, we'll get into that another time. I will be doing videos on both Neptune and Saturn in Aries, but not for a while. They're not really in the sign fully until next year. Okay, but so just see if you notice any kind of a difference. But for now, the sun is in Gemini up until the 20th. Mercury is in Gemini up until the 8th, and it moves into Cancer, and it's moving very fast. It moves into Leo on the 26th. Let's see here. Jupiter moves into Cancer on the 9th. There's a full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th. Mars moves into Virgo, Yahoo, on the 17th. And the sun moves into Cancer on the 20th. There's a new moon in Cancer on the 25th. And again, Mercury moves into Leo on the 26th. So, planets are in your 10th house right now. That's where you have the sign of Gemini. So Jupiter has been here since last year. And usually when Jupiter's in your 10th house, you get some kind of promotion, or maybe even a completely different career, if that's what you were trying for. But you got a lot of attention. You should have gotten, more than what you're normally used to. Let's put it that way. So Mercury is here in your 10th house, 10th house being your most public house. Okay, it's how you're known by reputation, professionally and personally, like your public persona, like how well you fare, in the public eye, and whatever, even if you're retired, what you used to do for a living or anything. It's just that, you would be in the public eye, and this could be just like on social media. Maybe you're popular on social media. So or if you're not like looking for another job or whatever. But with Mercury here, if you did apply for something or showed interest in a position previously that you didn't hear back from these people, or you just didn't get the job, you may hear from them now. With Mercury being here, someone could contact you to see if you're still interested in whatever, whatever job that you were going for here. Let's see. Okay, Jupiter. Yeah, and if anything, You know, you may notice that you have a lot more contact with higher ups or even colleagues in a way that are, it's kind of prestigious, you know. Whatever. Overall, though, it's a really nice month, I think, you know, with having these planets in your 10th house. Okay. You are getting some kind of recognition. Maybe, you know, Jupiter is getting ready to leave. Maybe that one last, you know, aspect that it makes creates like this great opportunity for you. Okay. I do have to mention the month starts off on the 6th with Venus in Taurus, okay, in your 9th house. That's where you have the sign of Taurus. Venus is the natural ruler of Taurus, so it does well when it's in its own sign. 9th house is long distance travel and communications, legal matters, media and publishing, higher learning. It's the house of adventure, okay? Foreign countries, people, languages, many, many things here. Philosophy, spirituality, all kinds of stuff. So with Venus here, though, you just may find that this is an internet house, okay? Also the 3rd house. These are both communication houses. And internet, online, anything. So you could be more involved at this time, just like, let's say, within a group online, and maybe this group consists of people from all around the world. So there's your foreign contact right there, right? Or, you know, you could just be spending more time in communications with somebody who lives at a distance. Okay, it could be in another country, it could just be, again, like far away from you. Okay. So the planet Uranus is still in Taurus, but it will move in July briefly into Gemini and your 10th house. Okay. Just for a few months, and it will fully move into Gemini next year. So I'll be doing a video on that one too. But a lot of these planets are just giving you a preview over the summer to see what's in store for you somewhere down the line. Okay. Anyway, the sun moves into Cancer on the 20th, and Mercury's here from the 8th to the 26th. And again, Jupiter moving into Cancer on the 9th, and there's a new moon in Cancer on the 25th in your 11th house. That's where you have the sign of Cancer. 11th house being your friends and acquaintances. It is your most sociable house. It's socializing in person or online. Any group or organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So having Jupiter here should bring new people into your circle of friends, or a group or organization that you may decide to join that aligns themselves with what you're interested in. You would really like to be a part of this group, or you could even be the head, the leader of the group. Okay, you may even create one yourself. So, you know, though, just having Mercury here does mean that you'll have a lot more contact with your friends than you have possibly lately. If it is, it could just be online, doesn't necessarily have to be in person, but when the sun moves here, though, you kind of feel like getting out there. You know, you're wanting to do something, getting out of the house, seeing your friends, going to see a live show, going to a bar or something, nightclub, something or other. So yeah, expect especially around that new moon, to hear from possibly someone you haven't heard from in a while, maybe calling to ask you to go out. Let's go do something. Maybe there's a new place even in your area that's opening up, and maybe you want to go check it out. Okay. So then Mars. Okay. Well, first of all, let me mention the full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th in your 4th house. That's where you have Sagittarius. It's directly across from your 10th house of Gemini. Now, I don't see it being a very big deal. Okay. The 4th house is your home and family. Anyone you live with, okay, but it's where you physically live and the property surrounding it. Also, your past, your childhood, and your private life. Okay, this is the foundation of how you were raised. Okay, So something may happen like within your home or your family where you have to put your career or your job or whatever on the back burner while you take care of it. Like maybe a minor crisis or something. It's with a family member or your home or something, or even something in your private life, but it's not a very big deal that I can see. Okay, so Mars has been in Leo on and off, back and forth between Cancer and Leo the past so many months, right? So now it's finally leaving Leo and moving into your sign, right? Uh, it's been in your 12th house. Okay, that's where you have the sign of Leo. Mercury will be moving here on the 26th. And I always call Mercury in the 12th house the great investigator because it brings out the snoop in you. Okay, if there's anything you wanted to know about someone or something, this is when you start to like really dig. Okay, and you already have been with Mars in your 12th house. I have mentioned, if you've listened to my videos in the past, that when you have Mars in the 12th house, there's usually someone, usually it's a friend. It's someone that you're aware of them, but they're secretly jealous or envious of you, and they are undermining you behind your back. That's what the 12th house being the house of secrets and confidences and activities by you or someone else behind the scenes. It's also the house of the subconscious mind, your dreams, a house of confinement, like being confined to nursing home, hospital, even a prison, and also the house of charity. Okay, so you've had to deal with this for a while. Okay, having Mars in your 12th house, you could feel it that somebody is acting against you, more or less, behind the scenes, but so are you. You've been making your own plans, maybe in secret. Okay, maybe you are letting people know what you're doing, but it doesn't matter either way. You can do whatever you want. But when Mars moves into Virgo in your first house, you'll be like energized. You'll be raring to go to carry out whatever kind of plans you were making when Mars was in your 12th house. Okay, yeah, when Mars is in your own sign, this is the me planet. It's the ego planet, and it doesn't transit your sign like every year. Okay, it takes about maybe 2 months sometimes to get through one zodiac sign, so it may only hit like 6 signs in 1 year. So it's almost like every other year, and it almost coincides with necessary needing this planet in your sign to make necessary changes to the ones that you've already made that people have tried to change back to where they want them. Okay, Mars, I always say, people, you would like to say to them, what would you do if I weren't in your life? If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have done this, or you wouldn't have gotten this far, or we wouldn't have been able to have this or that or whatever. You kind of have to point out to people like your strong points, and how much you've done for them. Sometimes, it's usually like your close relationships, though, and family, that you have to like remind them, that, hey, I'm here, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, what is best for me. This is your opportunity to make corrections in your life to where things are not where you would like them to be. Okay, like I always say, when you do one thing that you want it a certain way, sometimes people they don't like that, so they've worked on you over the past maybe 2 years at undoing whatever changes you made the last time Mars was in your sign. Okay, so you may wake up one morning and realize, oh, that's right, they're back where they were. They're not where I put them. So I will put them there again right now. So that's the good thing about Mars. Okay, it is the planet of war. If you have to be pushy, people may see you as pushy. You know, another thing I always say is you should get putting on a t-shirt or a mug, a coffee mug, out of my way. Okay, because that's what this is. You're energized, you're going to go and do stuff, and it's stuff that's important to you, maybe not necessarily everyone else, but it's important to you, and that's what matters the most, right? Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Virgo on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 29th, and 30th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Pisces, and those dates are the 16th, 17th, and 18th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, and speculation, and anything to do with children is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 4th, 5th, 6th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for your career is the 23rd and 24th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 7th, 8th, 9th, 21st, and 22nd. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for June. Happy summer to you. See ya.